This is Marie Gasper-Hulvat and
Juli-Ann Gasper.
And we are in the new Tretiakov gallery in Moscow, Russia, and we're in front of a painting by Alexei Sundukov. Title is By a Picture from 1987. And
we are people looking at a painting of people looking at a painting.
Basically,
fascinating.
Yeah. They're the lowest register of people are people depicted, and then you see the frame of a canvas. Just inside the frame of this canvas, look at that of people, painted people within the canvas. It's like 3 layers of people. And so who are these people? We have. It looks like in the painting, it's this crowd, this massive crowd of Russians. Clearly they're Russians. They have the fur hats on, and you see heavy coats. You see the top. In the middle, there's a woman with a bright red and white scarf on her head.
Every once in a while, there's a splash of red.
Yes.
Mostly lips, but not all.
Yeah, the color palette is browns, blacks, whites, and just a splash in here and there in red.
There's a red lollipop in the middle.
Yep, yep. And red lipstick. There's some red blood. There's a red cap. One of the women looking at the painting has a red beret. So looking at the painting that's in this painting reminds me of being in the subway this morning. And on the Moscow subway, we were just packed in like
just
sardines,
like
just like this. Literally, when the train moved and people just pushed up against you and moved with you, it was so tightly packed. So there's something very Russian about being in a huge crowd, tightly packed into places. One of the kind of themes of Russian life is the difference between being packed tightly in the cities and then all this huge expanse of land that's not populated, because Russia's such a huge country, but then all the people are tightly packed together in cities. This reminds me of that idea.
We have the arms of an artist here.
Yeah, who's drawing
but something that he's seeing
in the image. Yeah, you see.
He's in the painting, but he's drawing something he's seeing as if it was another layer.
Mm-hmm. You see, that where his pen is the hat of the guy that's just above the piece of paper. And another thing I just noticed: the guy in the lower right-hand corner, he's in the painting too. Right to his left is his head again. You see? Right above the rolls.
These two guys.
Yeah, those two guys. It's the same guy.
A guy looking at the painting is looking at the back of himself.
Is looking at the back of himself. So maybe part of what the artist is saying is that we are looking at ourselves when we see this painting. Although we are not Russian, so I don't know if his viewer is intended to be Russian. But it's a fascinating study in duplicates. There's lots of other duplicates, double people that show up multiple times in this painting. And maybe there's something about that all of us have our doppelgangers. You know, people say, "Oh, I saw you today on the subway," or "I saw you today walking down the street, only it wasn't you." And I think maybe there's a little bit of that going on here too.
I think it's interesting that not a single person is looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking away, they're looking down, they're looking up, they're reading, they're sleeping, but nobody is looking at me.
Which is kind of like the experience on the metro.
Yes, it is.
Nobody looks at one another. You keep to yourself. All in all, I think this is a really interesting study of humanity.